Good morning. Good morning. Give me a moment to just make sure that everything is working and live. And so as you get here, say hello and let me know that you're here as I'm doing all of the housework here. Mute on that one. All right. I believe I am live. Let me make sure. Yes, that's showing live. All right. Now let me pull this up on my phone so I can make sure I can see what's going on. Because it's so interesting how this thing works. There are many times that it looks like there's not a soul on when I'm looking at the Facebook on my computer, and then I look at my phone and there are people there. So it's always interesting. Good morning, Sean. Good to have you here. Yes, I am. How are you doing today? And just everybody, when you get here, make sure that you say hello and let me know that you're here because I would love to have everybody in part of the conversation. Continue the great work, light worker. Thank you, Sean. Thank you. Thank you. And I think I looked fantastic on a Sunday. Yes, fantastic any day, really, when you think about it, right? Um, the being grateful for all the goods and the maybe not so goods is paramount for having a happy life, right? All right, so I'm just going to jump in this morning and share today's affirmation and journal prompt. And really quick before I do, I shared this morning, I had another podcast that dropped. And so I shared about that this morning. But I also shared a video that my friend Marguerite, um, and she's been on my podcast, and I think she's been in the group too, but I'm not, I can't remember off the top of my head. But it is really cool. She shared like this very emotional video, and it was all about when something is important to you, how you do all the things to make it happen. And so it was a very heartfelt thing. And it really made me think a lot this morning about our journeys and how important our why is. And so I shared that in the group. So if you haven't watched it, go in and take a look because it's definitely a really good reminder of how when you really want to do something, you do it. And in this one, it's a health thing, but that applies to relationships, that applies to business, because how many times do we get into a place in our business? And Sean, I'm sure you're with me. Hi, Carmen. I see you're here. Thank you. Thank you. But how many times have we been in something? Love to do the thing. Sure. Ah, yes. Got on my do the thing shirt because it's so nice and soft. And I'm going to do a workout when I get finished. And I wanted something that felt nice and cozy and soft. Um, so the thing is, how many times are we in our business that it gets to be there's a lot of daunting tasks because we get in business for we want to do something, right? We want to help people with something, but that's just the little bit that we do for that. But there's so much behind the scenes and stuff. It's like seeing the wizard behind the curtain, right? It's like there's so many things that go into making it work. And a lot of times we can get into a place where that doesn't feel fun anymore. It feels like it's too hard, or we're not sure what to do, or we're just friggin' tired of doing it, right? And so we might give up. And if we do, we won't do that if our why is big enough, is what I'm getting at. So that's why I shared that this morning, because I thought it was just a great representation. And it was a reminder to me just about the physical aspects of getting older. And so just if you haven't watched it, I know I'm taking a long time with this, but if you haven't watched it, take a look because it was really, really good. All right. So here's today's affirmation. Let me do all this here. Let me see if anybody's popped in over there. No. All right. Good. Oh, almost ended the stream. What the heck? All right. So today's affirmation. Today is a brand new adventure waiting for me. And I am ready to dive in with excitement, curiosity, and a big smile. So today on our regular calendar, today is the beginning of the week, right? So today begins the week that we are filled with new adventures because they're out there waiting for us. And remember, we've talked many, many times about there are 50 billion bits of information coming at us per second. And we filter out everything but the 2,000 bits that feel relevant to us, right? Do we all agree on that? And so what we're looking for today is when we say this out loud to ourselves or to the world, today is a brand new adventure waiting for me, and I'm ready to dive in with excitement, curiosity, and a big smile. Suddenly, our 2,000 bits of information change because now anything that's going to be this new adventure, that's excitement, curiosity, and really, really enlightens us, we're going to see those opportunities. Where before we said this, that might not have been the case. Those things would have been in the peripheral vision. They would not have been where we really noticed them. And that's where a lot of our golden opportunities are. Because if we're not in a space where we're open and we're looking for opportunities, we're looking for financial abundance, we're looking for new friends, we're looking for new collaborative partners. If we're looking for those things, then our 2,000 bits is going to be starting to show us things that would help us have all of those opportunities. The people, the places, the things, the thoughts, the feelings, right? They'll all be different. And so we want to grab a hold of our 2,000 bits and make them really, really connect with us. So we actually, by doing all of this, we're really becoming the magnet to all these adventures, these opportunities that are good for us, right? And we've talked before about when we're focused on the lack, like yesterday, I think it was yesterday, I get so confused because since we do this every day, sometimes they kind of blend in together for me. I don't know if they do for you. But like even yesterday, I shared part of the story from Acres of Diamonds. Oh my gosh, I went and listened to the audio and everything. And boy, did I mess that up. I had the story very different than what it was, but there were several stories. And what I did was I immersed several of the stories in there into one. So anyway, I even told you yesterday, I wasn't sure I was remembering it right. So if you read or listened to the audiobook, to not hold me to it. So I'm telling you up front, I had it all messed up where I had 3 different stories jumbled into one, but just take that as it is, right? So yesterday, I think it was, I said that what happens to a lot of us, and we're kind of conditioned to do this, is that we don't look at the blessing that we have in front of us. We look at the lack that is left, right? So my example I gave yesterday, and like I said, I think it's yesterday, was that if we're sitting there in a financial place where we're really desperately needing $1,000 and we're really needing it, and someone gifts us, or we find, or just we get a rebate, wherever it comes from, $300 just suddenly shows up for us. Most of the time, what happens is that you say, oh, I got $300, but it's not enough. I needed $1,000. So where's that extra 7 coming from? And then we start stressing on the $700, right? And so what I'm getting at is if we focus on the gift, the amazing thing that we just got of the $300, then Where not only are we going to be more relaxed, we're not going to be as stressed, but the thing is that we can find happiness in that $300. We can find joy within us and with that $300, even though we still need 700 more. And I've been in that place so many times, right, in my life, that I would be focused on the 700 and not the 3. And one of the things that I have learned over the years is that if I can just be happy with the 3 and not focused on the 7, then I magnetically start drawing in the circumstances that bring me more money or make the 700 insignificant. There are different ways that it all plays out. But if we're looking for, it's whatever we're looking for, we find, right? So if we're looking for brand new adventures today that create excitement, curiosity, and give us this big smile because it's amazing, right? If we're looking for those, then our 2000 bits is going to be interlaced with a lot of them, and you get to pick and choose which ones you want. Doesn't that sound just delicious, right? To have that kind of control over our world, that all we have to do is make sure that we're focused in the right direction. And, the thing too is that sometimes that's not so easy. I mean, many, many times it's not been easy for me. And, the more I do this work, it's not so much that it's easier. It's like I catch myself doing something so much quicker. So if I catch myself going down that proverbial rabbit hole of, whoa, woe's me, what if this happens? What if that happens? I still do it sometimes, right? Because I'm human. We're all human. Well, most of us, I guess. Who knows? So the thing is that what happens now is that when I start going down the rabbit hole, I can catch myself really quickly and reframe things, change the words that I'm using, take a moment to get into a different mindset. And so it's an amazing tool to have. And now that I have that, it makes it so much easier not to get into that despair and that depression and that woe's me, I don't know what to do. Because not too long ago, or I guess rather recently, I had an episode where I needed something, and it was like I couldn't figure out how to make it work. And so what I decided in the moment was the best thing that I could do was do an activity that might lead to what I was wanting, right? And so I thought, okay, if I start doing this activity, then it will give me ideas, or it might even just rectify the whole thing, right? So I sat down and looked and made a list of some of the activities that I could do right then to go toward the goal that I was thinking wasn't going to happen. And so that's what I did. And just in doing that, I suddenly got some phone calls, I got some messages, I got some texts, I got different things showing up that were just the amazing partial solutions that I could take advantage of to make that goal that I had in that moment a reality, right? And so sometimes it's when you catch yourself, it's go into this questioning, what can I do now? How can I make this work? Let's see I'm doing that. I joined the wealth experience and no idea what to expect, but I know things will happen. Hallelujah, Carmen. Thanks for joining us. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to see you in there. Beautiful, beautiful. You will not regret it at all. It is, I started with the Audience Accelerator. Sean, Luis, and I were the first 3 people that started with Stacy's program. And it's just changed and morphed over time. I don't know how many times this has been done, but the wealth experiment, this is only the second time for the wealth experiment, which is part of Audience Accelerator. And don't get confused. It doesn't really matter what the names are, right? But the things that happen in the Audience Accelerator and the wealth experiment, oh my gosh, it's life-changing. It really is. And so I'm so excited to have you on board. All right, so let me get back into this other window. You're welcome, Carmen. I'm so excited for you and for us for having you as part of it because, we're a group of people that we support each other and we help each other and we give each other ideas and stuff. And so really quick, if you haven't seen in the events section in the Stand Up and Stand Out community, the next Stand Up and Stand Out party is going to be happening. Did I put it on the freaking calendar? No, I got to go back and look and see what the date is. But anyway, it is the 7th. So Thursday, the 7th at 5:30 Eastern, we'll be on a Zoom, and it is off the chain for being able to help everybody. So definitely, if you get the chance, yes, November 7th at 5:30 p.m. Eastern. And there's a in the events section of the group, you can go in there and you can look and it shows there, and you can just say that you're going to be there, and that way you'll get the reminders and all that stuff. But it's been really, really powerful. And so if you can be there at all, definitely be there. All right. Good morning, Carrie. Good morning. Good to have you. I hope you have really, really started feeling a lot better. I was just talking about the Stand Up and Stand Out party that's coming up on the 7th. And Carrie was at the last one, and she was there with a fever and not feeling good, but she was there and she was good to have there, I'll tell you. All right. So our journal prompt for today: what fun, inspiring things can you do to make today unforgettable? What fun, inspiring things can you do today to make today unforgettable? Now, just asking that question changes your 2,000 bits of information per second. Things are going to start coming to you. Things are going to start showing up just because you made that statement. Thank you, Carrie. Thank you. It was great. So one of the things that I always recommend is that you, when it comes to your journaling, to take your hello, Julie, thank you for being here, who is getting ready to do her first TED Talk. I am so envious. I want to do that so much. So I know it's coming at some point, but when it gets here, it'll be the right time, right? Julie and I have talked about that. Oh, beautiful, Carrie, being with your grandchildren. They're here with you. Good. Thank you, Julie. I know it's coming at some point, but it's just not the right time. And when it is, I'll be gold, right? So, like I was saying, that you get your journal or your notebook out, and I love it if there are people that have the notebooks or the journals just for these morning affirmations and journal prompts. And so if you have that would be amazing. But, if you've got a journal that you do all the other stuff, it doesn't matter. Just wherever you want to put these down. But put the date, the affirmation, and the journal prompt, because they work together. They are create them as a unit, I guess you would say. And the best thing to do is write all this stuff down, and then put your notebook down, put your journal down, and just, I'm starting it today. Yay! So the thing is to take a moment after you've got it written down, don't start writing yet. Take a moment to get into silence and just relax, right? And quiet that chatter, the monkey mind, all that stuff. And the way that you do that, because what happens normally when we sit down, there are people that say they can't meditate and all these things. And it's because our natural tendency is for our conscious mind to be just doing its job of keeping us safe and doing its job of making sure we know what to do next and all that, right? So when we sit down to do something like this and we want to be quiet, our mind starts going crazy. So like if I did this right this minute, my mind would start saying, as soon as you get finished, everything is set up for you to make another French press of coffee. And that coffee's going to be so good. You're going to like it. It's going to be so warm and hot. And then you can fix your food. And it's going to be telling me all these things, right? However, I know that I don't need to be having that chatter in my mind, right? But that's what it does. It may end up start talking to me about what's for lunch or that email that I just sent. Do I think everybody received it, or do I need to go in and do something else? I mean, that's what our conscious mind does. So what we do is we focus on our breath, and that means that we're breathing in and out at a slower pace. We're doing belly breaths too, because if you don't know what belly breaths are, they are amazing to help you to relax your body more. And if you ever watch children, and I'm getting off topic here, but if you ever watch little children, if they're laying down on the ground and they're breathing, their bellies are expanding and going down. Their bellies are expanding and going down. Now, as we get older, our breathing becomes more shallow and we're breathing in the chest. And the belly breathing is what relaxes the body and stops or diminishes that fight or flight and all those things. So if you're into a stress situation, if you'll slow your breath down and make sure you're doing belly breathing. So that means that when I first learned about that, what I would do is I would lay on the floor and put my hand on my belly and I would breathe so that I could see my breath going up, my belly going up and down. And then that helped me to understand what it felt like any other time, so then I could do those kind of breaths when I needed. So just a little tidbit there. Oh, so Carrie, you have the journal for just for this. Hallelujah. Thank you. So you focus on your breath. You do the belly breaths, which relaxes you more, and you do just a few breaths. And sometimes the chatter can come back really quickly. And so what I do to help myself, and I learned this in a program that I was in, is that I would focus on sounds in the room. So like if my ceiling fan was on, which I turned it off because I was getting a little chilly. If it was on, I would listen to the sounds of the fan. Or I've told you before, I have some a copper bowl downstairs that has these little chimes that go around and they ding, ding. Oh, it's so soothing. I love it. Anyway, I will focus on those, and that will kind of really get me a little more calmed and quiet my mind. But maybe it's that you hear somebody outside doing yard work, or maybe you have an animal that makes a sound and you just focus on those sounds, and that just kind of brings you back to the moment so that your conscious mind can't be doing all of this other stuff while you're focusing on those things and actually naming them. It's the naming them that helps you to quiet that mind. And then once you get quiet, you focus on the breath again. And your subconscious mind already knows this question that you've asked, this journal prompt, because you've already said it. And so if it feels better, you can recite that in your mind, almost like it's a chant or a mantra, and that'll help quiet that chatter too. And then what I like to do is set a timer for 10 or 15 minutes and do that in silence. And I'm telling you, it is very good for your soul, for your body, for your heart, your physical being, to take 15 minutes out of your friggin' day, 15 minutes out of 24 hours. Most of us can find it. However, I will say, I had a client, it's been a while back, but when we first started working together, she was so stressed and so busy with so many things in her life that she couldn't find 10 minutes, 5 minutes. She couldn't find anything. So what did I tell her? I told her, I said, you go to the bathroom, don't you? She said, yeah. And I said, okay. So from now on, just for the next week before we meet again, every time you go to the bathroom, I want you to take some deep breaths and relax. I said, now, whether that means you walked in there to wash your hands, or you're in there to use the bathroom, or you're taking a shower, whatever activity it is you're in there for, you're going to take that time to breathe and relax. And she had such epiphanies through that process. And then when we got close to, I forgot how long we worked together, but it doesn't really matter. But she even started taking time for herself away from home, going on trips, doing her thing in a relaxed way, instead of constantly feeling that angst of, I gotta. But like I said, I'm telling you to take 10 or 15 minutes. She couldn't even do 5. So if that is you, then just take a few minutes right now as you get off here, after we finish this, and just do a few breaths, whatever it is, however calm you can get yourself and however quiet you can get your mind. And then take your journal out and write, and just write whatever comes up. So it says here, jot down all the ways you'll sprinkle a little magic and joy into every part of your day. So just write down whatever comes up, and don't judge it. Don't second guess it. Just write it down, even if it sounds like the silliest thing you've ever heard, or that's something I would never do. Whatever it is, write it down anyway. It's for you. You don't have to do a damn thing with it if you don't want to. The thing is that your subconscious mind in that moment is feeding you some information that it thinks you need. Take advantage of it. Listen to it. And if you're like my client who couldn't find 5 minutes to relax, to do something for themselves, then start what I told her to do. We go to the bathroom, I do not know how many times a day, right? Like I said, whether it's taking a shower, brushing your teeth, going to the bathroom, washing your hands, whatever it is, each activity that you do today that is in the bathroom, you're going to take 3 deep belly breaths. So while I've got you here, as long as you're not driving, well, you could still do it when you're driving, but I'm going to ask you to close your eyes. So if you're here, and if you're still here and you want to participate, I would love for you to do that. I'm just going to take you through these 3 breaths, and each breath we're going to be breathing in through our nose, and we're going to make sure it's extending our belly and not our chest, right? You'll begin feeling the difference if you don't know that now. And then I'm going to ask you to hold that breath. I'm going to count for you. And then I'm going to ask you to extend this breath out, expel the breath, whatever the hell the word is, expel the breath. And you're going to do that in a manner of, because we're bringing in this amazing energy, this force within us to relax and build calmness in us. And when we expel that breath, we are forcing out anything that's in us that's holding us back. Right? All right. So who's with me? I don't even know if anybody's still here or not. And if you're watching the replay, then definitely do this with us. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. And if you're able to participate, beautiful. And if you're not, you can do this on your own. But this is one of the things that I do a lot. And like I said, this is a practice that you can do to help you to have a better day, to have a more inspiring day, an adventure day. All right. So let's go ahead and let's do this thing. Oh, good, Carmen. Great. All right. So go ahead and we're going to breathe in. I'm going to count your breath in. I'm going to count the hold, and then I'm going to count the breath out. And we breathe in through our nose and out forcefully. And like if you were to have somebody near you, they'd say, "What the hell are you doing?" All right. So go ahead and breathe all the way in. Hold it. Breathe out. All right. Now we're going to do it again, and I'm going to count out loud so that you know what the count is, and you can do this on your own anytime you need to calm your body down. All right. Go ahead and breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're doing 5, 5, 7 breaths, which are my favorite. And the reason it's my favorite is because we're giving more attention to the exhaled breath, exhale, because we want to really, really release anything that's holding us back, any tensions, any thoughts, any feelings. It's all going. So we're going to do one more. Go ahead and breathe in. Hold it. Breathe out. All right. So thank you for joining with me with that today. And I'm going to jump back to our affirmation. Today is a brand new adventure waiting for me, waiting for you. And I'm ready to dive into it with excitement, curiosity, and a big smile. And I'm sure you are too. You're welcome, Carmen. You're welcome. So put this on your sticky note, your index card, the screensaver on your phone. Put it on the mirror with a chalk marker. Put it on a piece of paper and stick it to your fridge. Perfect timing. Thanks, Vicki. Ah, good. What time is your thing today, or is it tomorrow? I think it's tomorrow, isn't it? But this will be perfect for you before you go out on the stage. Just chill. Oh, I heard your speech and I know it's going to be amazing because it was when I heard it. So now when we get to our journal prompt, remember we've already gone through the process of what you do as far as taking some time in silence, getting quiet, just breathing in and breathing out. Tomorrow. Okay. Well, we'll all be sending you positive vibes and a big, bright, golden light to shine down on you as you're doing that. And remember, when we did our thing together, that I know your mom's going to be standing right there with you, holding your hand. And just remember that. If you get anything else, when you're up there and if you feel the least bit of anxiety, she's going to get your hand and she's going to hold it for you. You've got this. Ah, you're welcome, Julie. You are amazing. You really are. You have no idea how amazing you are. All right. So our journal prompt, remember, what fun, inspiring things can you do to make today unforgettable? What fun, inspiring things can you do today to make today unforgettable? And I know that's happening for you right now, Julie, because you're on this trip and you're fixing to do your TED Talk and you and your wife are there. But just be open to this too. Thank you, Julie. So when you come out of your few moments of silence, jot down all the ways you can sprinkle a little magic and joy into every part of your day today. What does that look like? What does that feel like? Just thinking I was putting sprinkle and thinking in one word. I've done that so many times before, but I was thinking about the sprinkle of magic and joy into our day. Mm, it just feels wonderful. So I am so glad you were here today. Love it. A new word. Yes. Thinkling. Oh, we're all getting good at creating those new words, aren't we, Julie? So I wish you all the most magical, thinkling day. And I will see you tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern. And oh, let me remember to tell you once again about the Stand Up and Stand Out party, which is Thursday, the 7th at 5:30 p.m. Eastern. And then I still haven't created Lois's event, but I will be creating that and sticking it in the group. So definitely be looking for that, because that is Thursday the 14th at 5 p.m. Eastern. And she's all about magnetic relationships. That's whether you're looking for one or you're in one. So it will be beautiful for everybody. So just keep watching. I'm going to be sending out invites for it as soon as I get it created. And then and then I hope to see you at the Stand Up and Stand Out party. And I hope to see you tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern, and we're going to have an amazing time. All right. So I will see you tomorrow. Mwah.